starting out, Coach, you guys had a week to prepare for this game. I'm sure that the kids or the guys know how important this game is for not only district reasons, but just historic reasons.
Yeah.
Which, from the last decade playing this team, what was the feel around it? Kind of thing?
I mean, we're always excited, man, when we're going to get to play a district opponent, and especially Odessa Permian, home game. You know, it's Odessa's last game of the season, and they can wrap up the district championship, or at least a tie for it. But I mean, they've already beat Lee, so the only one that can tie them is Lee. So I mean, in my book, that's a district championship. So they got a shot at it, you know, and we're the last game they're playing. So we're in the middle of it. We're undefeated in district, right where we want to be, playing the two best teams besides ourselves here at the end. You know, we won't have to fire our kids up. I mean, this is a big deal to us. And the last time we were in this district, we were the district champs 5 years in a row, and we want to continue that. You know, that's a big deal to us. So it'll be a great game on Friday, and I'm sure Permian's going to be ready. They always are. Got great staff, great kids that play their tail off all the time. And you know, when I first got here, we had to get to that level. You know, we weren't there. Those other teams like Permian, those guys, they all played way harder than us. But we finally got our program at that level, and now we want to keep it there, and we want to win another district championship.
I guess kind of put it into perspective for people who don't know, what does this Permian game mean for Central and San Angelo?
It means everything. I mean, like I said, I mean, it's just one more district game, but it's if we lose, they're the district champs, and we can still get a piece of it the next week. If we beat Lee, it could be a three-way tie, all that. You know, I get that, but we want to be outright district champs. That's what we care about the most. And once that happens, you get a home playoff game. You know, you get a better setup in the playoffs. The district championship actually in 5A and 6A nowadays means something, because it also means you get the first home playoff game. So it means a lot to us, and we want to keep our momentum going. You know, the open week came at a good time for us. We needed a little rest, and we had a great practice this morning, and you know, I think we'll be ready.
And I know, just going back again, let's talk about this with this week, like with the team and everything. But you know, if you do go back and look at it, you guys have had really good success against Permian. What is it that has led to that success under?
Well, I mean, when I first got here, I don't know the exact numbers, but Central hadn't beaten Permian very often. I mean, since 1959, they didn't play every year. There was a really long stretch in there that they didn't play because they were in different districts and they just didn't play. But Permian held a really big edge. And Central always said, well, this is our rival, and this is who we get fired up for. That's all I heard when I got here. Heck, we never beat them. You know, so how can that be a real rival if you never beat them? So I don't think they took us seriously. And not being negative on them at all. I mean, they got great people over there. They've always had great people. It's always been important to them, always, and it still is. But here in San Angelo, you know, we had to get to that level, and that was our first goal. Our first goal was to take care of our business that we had, which was in the Lubbock Panhandle District. But once we got into this thing, our goal was to get our program at the level that Permian and Lee were at that time. And so we went to work on that. We finally got that, and I think we had great success. I know for a fact that they are telling their kids the exact same thing. You know, these guys have beaten us, whatever it is. This is a district championship. You know, we owe them one, that kind of stuff, which is the same thing I'd be saying. And that's why it's going to be a great football game, because I know they're going to come in here prepared and ready, and there won't be any doubt that they're going to be fired up, and I know my team is too. So every time we play them, it's always been a great game, and tonight or Friday night will be another one.
Coach, you talk about your goal. The first goal is to make the playoffs. Of course, you want to win district, and then you want to do things in the playoffs, of course. But this game, you do at least clinch a district championship if you win this game. So does that kind of pick it up even another?
Yeah. I mean, that's what we talked about with our group. You know, that winning this game clinches a piece of it. losing it, you're not out of it, but you still, if you win, it's a piece, and it knocks them out of it. It doesn't knock them all the way out, but it gives you an opportunity to do it the next week. So, it's, I don't, like I said earlier, man, there's a lot on this game, not necessarily, not for us, it's not playoffs and things like that because we're in. But it's just the pride in being the district champ of Little Southwest Conference. I mean, that means something. And that's one of our goals every year.
Isn't it kind of fitting, though, that this is a game, again, that's going to determine the district championship? Because in 2017, that was the case. I think in 2015 and 14, that was the case. And then I want to say 2012, there was like that, you'll have the tie. There was like the multiple team tie. But,
right.
It seems like every time, aside from maybe 1 or 2 years, this
right.
game, the winner of this game goes on to win the district.
It happens a lot because these two programs have been two of the better ones. Us and along with Lee and Tascosa. When Tascosa was in this district, they were always right there at the top also. And the district has changed since I first got here quite a bit. When we first got here, all of us were together. There were 10 of us. The Amarillos, the Lubbocks, the Odessas, the Midlands, Abilene, and us. There was 10 teams. Abilene Cooper was even in it. So that's changed quite a bit. But the cool thing is it's kind of ended up back to where it's the Little Southwest Conference. We're still missing Abilene Cooper, but like Friendship kind of took Big Springs' place because of how they've grown. And then you've got the two Odessas and Midlands and the Abilene and us. So it's kind of like if we had Cooper in there, if they were big enough to be in there, it would be almost identical to what it used to be back when it was a big popular, everyone talked about it in the 80s and the 90s. And but I was growing up in the Panhandle back in the 70s and early 80s, and you always heard about it. It was a big thing. And when I became the head coach here, I was so excited just to be a part of that history and all the things that go with that. And then here we are back in a situation where we got almost the exact same configuration. So it's just a lot of fun, man. It's fun to go play these teams every Friday, no matter who you're playing. Like I've told you several times, they're always well-coached teams with good programs, and that's that's what it's all about is competing against the best and seeing how you shape up.
Talking about Permian, what are some strengths? What are some weaknesses?
Permian is good, man. I mean, their offensive line's the best I've seen this year. There's no doubt about that. Now they run an offense that where they're going to come downhill and get after you, and they do a good job of it. Running backs run extremely hard. Quarterback is a really good player. He's more of a two-dimensional guy than what they've had in the past. I mean, he can throw the ball well, and they do throw the ball a lot more than they used to. You can tell that they've tried to put that into their offense to give them more explosiveness. Probably, when they play teams in the playoffs, they want to be able to back them up off of them. And so they put that into their offense, and it's made them a lot more potent. Defensively, they're kind of what they always have been. They're going to play hard, get after you, swarm to the football. Every time we play these guys, it's a ball game, and I just hope we can come out and meet their intensity because you can see their intensity on film, and I'm impressed with their football team.
And looking again at their team offensively, what they do, it's kind of it seems like big games like this, there's always a chance for heroes like a unsung hero or even somebody.
Right.
But one of the names that rose to the top of my head was Montavious Dobbins, just against that kind of offense,
right.
Off the edge, as quick as he does, and I'm thinking about that play he made against an option pitch, against is he a guy that you think is really
Yeah, I hope. I mean, he's got to play well. He's got to play well. I mean, because if he's one of our best players, he's by far one of our best defensive players. And when you play big games, those guys got to rise. If you're going to be any good at all, they got to rise to the occasion. And he knows that. I don't have to say anything to him. This whole football team understands that we have got to show up on Friday ready to go. Not really bringing anything extra, just bringing what we're capable of bringing, and do it for 4 quarters. And I've seen our team grow, and I think right now we're ready for this challenge.
As far as an execution standpoint, what would you say is probably the most important thing that you guys do on Friday night?
Did you say execution?
Yeah.
It's usually the same. I mean, just don't turn the ball over. Okay, don't turn the ball over. Don't have pre-snap or post-snap penalties. I can take the other ones. The pre-snap are dumb. The post-snap are selfish, and the rest of it we can live with. But we've got to not turn the ball over. You know, I think if we stay on schedule and control the ball as much as we can with what we do, then we're pretty hard to beat. If we turn it over 2 or 3 times, and give them short fields and put our defense out there several times, that's going to be tough because they're going to be a ball control offense. So we have got to take advantage of our opportunities when we have them. It can't be, like any game. You can't go out there and punt a whole lot. If you do, you're going to be in trouble. They will eat the clock on you. But the thing about them this year is a little different is they are more of a big play offense than they've been in the past. Like I said, they put that in there. So it gives you trouble. I mean, that's what they do good, the options and things, the triple option, they're still really good at that. But now they've added some vertical passing game and some bootlegs and things because this quarterback's pretty good. And so it puts you in a pretty big bind.
Going in the other direction a little bit, with the spike of COVID cases we've had here, and really seems like everywhere right now, it's affected a lot of teams, obviously. Games can't.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Is this something that's directly affected your team?
Well, yeah, it's affected everybody. In one way or another. I'm not going to talk about COVID as far as how it's affecting us, but it's affected everybody. I don't think there's a school in Texas that hasn't been affected in some way, and you just gotta follow the protocols, do what the rules are, wear your mask as much as possible when you're not able to socially distance, all the things you hear on 50 times a day. You just got to do them, and then hope for the best. That's all you can do, and I think the state of Texas is handling it the best they can. It's tough. It's tough on everybody, and we follow protocols and we do what the authorities tell us to do.
I guess just to kind of put a positive wrap on this thing, what do you expect the atmosphere to be like here at San Angelo Stadium?
I think I wish we could have a full crowd, Golly, it's so much fun. It won't be. It won't be full because they won't let it get full, but I bet you it might sell out whatever they're selling. With 7,000 or 8,000, I hope. With it being on TV now, it's a little different because people can watch. They can actually watch the game in real time, which that's going to hurt the crowd some. Probably some of the folks that would normally come from Odessa, but it'll be a good atmosphere. We've had 2 home games and they've both been great, and I think this crowd will be a little bigger than that because of the meaningness of the game. But it'll be a rowdy crowd. I think you'll be able to hear them.
And I guess just to feed off of that, it's as cliche as they come, but how happy are you that y'all are actually getting to play?
Oh yeah.
Instead of over.
Yeah, we say that all the time, man. Just are you talking about just being fortunate that we're able to play the game?
It's a huge game, and it's here instead of having to go to Rackland.
Yeah.
To play.
Yeah, that is big. It's big for a lot of reasons. Anytime you play on the road in this district, it's hard. It's just hard because everybody plays good at home, and it's just a tough deal. And that's how all football is. When you go on the road, it's going to be a tough game. So getting them at home with our home crowd and the way we play here, we just kind of play with a little bit more energy or whatever. And I don't know how to really quantify that, but we seem to have a little bit more spark at home, and so yeah, we're always excited about playing here.
And you kind of like how the schedule is split. Work out. You never know before the season for sure.
Right.
If it's gonna be good or not. You kind of have, like you're saying, the 2 best teams, Permian and Lee Central. So you have one at home here and then one there. Would you rather have it that way, or compared to like 2017 when you have both of them the same year?
Yeah, I like it split. Because that way you get at least one home for each year, and those are just such tough games. And, it's all just by the luck of the draw. We don't set any of this stuff up. We just pull a bean out of a thing and you fall where you fall. And this year, it kind of was, it really, at the beginning, whenever the original schedule came out, if we would have started on time, we would have played Abilene last. See, we would still have 3 games left. But because we moved them up to create that open date, we played them first. So, man, that feels real good right now. Because if we had 3 games left, we wouldn't be clinched. we would have the 3 toughest left. People would be saying, well, we don't really know how good you are because you haven't played. You know what I'm saying? But we feel like now, since we got that Abilene game, and Friendship was a tough game for us, and so we feel like, hey, we've gotten better for 4 weeks, and here we go. We're going to take these 2 on and see where it goes. All right, man. Appreciate it.